Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit, not my whole story, because if you really want to know, you can talk to me later, it's not that exciting. But I'm going to tell you about something that happened a couple months ago. People are always talking about how, like, before God, all this bad stuff happened, and they never felt God, blah, blah, blah. But when they came to know God, it was all happy, but that's not how it is. And sometimes, even once you know God, you still feel distance from Him at times. And a couple months ago in November, actually, I had a situation where what I wanted was not what God wanted. And I knew that, but the personal side of things got too much for me. And I chose to go against what God was clearly telling me through like 6 different signals and signs. God was telling me to go one way, but I chose to go the other because of what I wanted. And that was when I was a Christian. Like, I was completely Christian, life for God, but I chose to go the other way. And I have never felt so far from God while knowing Him. There was times, like, I'd be in worship at school, and usually there's like this presence all around the room, but I couldn't feel it after this. Like, I made that one decision, one moment of, like, just honestly, like, 5-minute decision, and I could not feel His presence during worship. I'd read the Bible, and I couldn't learn anything. I didn't understand what I was reading. I'd pray, and I just felt like God was on the other side of the world, just not listening to me. I felt so distant from Him. And this was just a few months ago. These things happen when you're a Christian, when you choose to not follow the path God has set for you. The moment I realized that it wasn't God leaving me, it was me leaving God, I broke down. I knew exactly what I had done wrong. I knew what I needed to do to get back on that path with God. And there was one night where I just sat in my room, and honestly, I just cried with my Bible, because I knew what I had done wrong, and I knew that I needed to fix this choice in my life. And it wasn't easy at all. It was one of the hardest things I've done in quite a while. But I rerouted that path. I turned back, and I walked towards God's path. And during that hour with my Bible and God, and changing that decision within the next couple days, I have never been on such a spiritual high, because God was rewarding me for doing what He wanted. Since then, like, honestly, every single second I feel God next to me, and just because I chose to do what He wanted me to do. And I think there's a lot of times when there's a situation, it's like, yeah, you know what, God would want me to do that, but this is what I want to do, and He won't mind that much, but He does. He really just wants you to choose every moment of your life to be with Him. And that's not easy, I understand, but that is what His life for you, the most successful life you can have for Him, will depend on those little decisions that you make, whether or not you're going to choose to follow Him or not. And it is so important to just choose God's way, because God's way will lead you to heaven, your way won't. And that's a decision that's a lesson I had to learn a really hard way. So I just want to share that with you guys, let you know, God's name is the only name you should be praising. God's way is the only way you should be choosing. He will lead you to great heights. So there's one verse, Isaiah 55, verse 8. Look at me go, I memorized it. It says, hold on, I know this. Okay, I was trying to figure out the first word. Okay, for my ways are not your ways, and your thoughts are not my thoughts, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. His ways are always better than ours, and so we need to choose to follow His ways.